So hey folks, this is me Vishwas Narayan. I'm with my one of the mentors in the community, that's Tarun sir. And Tarun sir has been one of the bright minds in the world of DevOps these days. It's not about being an youngster in this world of DevOps. It's not about being any person. Like if you are really enthusiastic about this subject is going to build you as a person. And right now, it's a simple introduction about our community. It's DevOps for a reason. A very small community that we started because we wanted to educate folks on high performance IT operation and DevOps. And there are a lot of other sessions which are planned, and a lot of times when you think of a lot of other things that might go wrong in the world of AI, like a lot of things are there. So DevOps is one such field where you can give yourself that understanding of what it is all about. So do consider joining our community and also make sure that you learn something new every single day. So over to you, Tarun sir. The session is yours.
Okay.
Welcome to our first session and thanks for being the mentor of the community.
Yeah, no problem, Vishwas. Yeah, this is exciting. A part of this community and like teaching, which the profession, so the side interest, I would say, which I wanted to explore from a long time. And it's been a couple of months connected with Vishwas and team. Yeah, it's very good platform actually. And yeah, so today I think. I did a first session of Terraform with AWS. Now this is the second one, and we will have couple of more because it's a vast topic. And today our focus would be on the basically prototyping a data type of it, like read, generate, modifying configurations, and pretty much following what Zeal is following in his course. But yes, I'm just will going through the will be step by step will be going through all of these at least till like data source, data type, and fetching values. And uh, apart from functions, we will try to cover all of it. And there's this a vast topic actually. But yeah, we will see how we will go through, like we will go through the attributes and output values in Terraform, referencing cross account resource attributes, Terraform variables, approaches for variable assignment, data type for variables, count and coordinates, condition expression, local values. Yeah, so I think I will try to cover until this point only till for today. But yes, I think I have to fetch. I have to split into one more session. So I think 9:10 if we can cover today, and then 9:10 in the later in the second part. And I think this will require three more sessions, 3 to 4 more sessions on Terraform and AWS, because we are now focusing in this session till how we manipulate the variables, how we assign the variables, like what are variables and the data type for the, and how we use the manipulate the data, the count. So for example, we need to get multiple indexes, so some sort of programming is also involved. The logic which you use to write in your for loops and those kind of loops, right, in programming world, same thing. You don't have to do don't have to like loops, I would say. But yes, there are a couple of parameters which you have to mention, like the count and count index, which where you can actually give the number of iterations, number of instances you want to perform with a value. So as you already know, Terraform is a declarative, so we have, it's all declaration part which we have to do. And then conditional expression is pretty much same as you did learn in your BTech days. But yes, we will go through the further with a mix of blend combination of regular expressions inside the Terraform file itself. And then we will go to the local variables. We will see where we will see how to apply tags to the multiple resources at one go. So instead of a one by one approach. And then we have, of course, the variable assignment, that the data types. So inside variables also we have different kind of data types, integer, string, number. So those types of data types is also available for the variables. And then the count and count index, which I just give an overview right now. We will see the practical implementation of all these things. And probably Terraform function I will try to cover, from Terraform function I will try to cover in the next session. So this is, you could say, second session in the previous one. If you haven't seen it, I would just refer, just see it. I think Vishwas can ping the URL on that. So yeah, just go through it. That has a simple thing like provisioning the Terraform, like EC creating first EC2 instance, and where we saw the desired state and the current state and all those things, how we provision, how we communicate with the AWS, like starting from the this thing. So the agenda is like, we I have already installed Terraform. Just go through my previous videos and all those things. So I'm mostly I would be using the, what do you say, this is what you called this is called as a Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code. As of now, there is one more thing. There's an update. As I represent this session, there is Visual Studio web app also available. In last 1 month, last 15 days back only, also Visual Studio Code web part. So they have developed the website also. So you can code. This is the site code.visualstudio. So guys, you don't have to actually download. You can just go through the, this is the site, sorry, vsocode.dev. So you don't have to install this. This awesome feature which is given by this thing. So you can like online you can do bring Visual Studio to the browser. So this is the browser like which I was referring. So you don't have to install this tool at all. So this update came, I think, before Ignite, when Microsoft was already working. You can, with the browser, you can always save your sessions, obviously with the login, right? So you can log in here and see, this is the feedback button. So you can just log into your Terraform session, right? So this is, I think, you can open your folder and do stuff. You can log into your Terraform and see. This is, you don't have to install the tool itself. This is the recent announcement which had been made by the Microsoft community. So, but yes, I think because I had this tool, so I'm just using this tool. So that's how it is. Uh, so I think
Sir,
what
I
are we?
think there is an live participant called as Abdul, and I think he will be asking the question. I think, Abdul, if you have any question, you can ask here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, fine. He is not joining now. Fine, fine, fine. No problem, sir. I think he joined just to ask some.
Okay. Okay. So this is the, just to give some introduction on that part, the things which are happening inside the Terraform community, the HashiCorp community. So now to understand attributes and output values in Terraforms, we just go through it and see, this is so see, it's not possible for to everyone to remember the all those modules. So I will be taking the reference from this GitHub URL, and then we'll be demoing the things from my local file actually. I have made some changes, guys, like I'm not following, like I'm not storing the key vault inside this thing. So I'm storing inside the this thing, what you say, the key vault, right? So this is the key vault, the credential file. So this is like I've just showed it. I will just try to show it. uh, I won't be using this because this is not good practice. Also, when you go through the repo through DevOps, you will do, this is not good practice to store in the in the TF file itself, all these things. So this is the key and access I was generated already, right? Then I'm initiating the Terraform in it, and it automatically takes this variables, this values. So I'm not giving those parameters which is already taken by this repository. So some tweaks are there. So yeah, I'm instead using this syntax: Terraform providers HashiCorp Air 316.42, and then using this as the source. So let me do one thing instead. Instead of yeah. So let me just come out of it and just so this is Terraform. This is MK. So we don't have anything right here. So we will try to like initialize all these things. We will create one code. So when you mention code, right? Means like this will open a session in the this thing, Visual Studio Code. So that's why I mentioned code attribute.tf. So guys, the so see, I will be using mostly like the basically the Visual Studio Code and the Terraform, and in some cases AWS CLI also. But yes, this is pretty much I would be using to teach Terraform with AWS. Pretty much same like as other things, but yeah, with the DevOps point of view, yeah, I want to cover that also, where we ingest Terraform files to provision the infrastructure in the DevOps pipeline, right? So, but yes, for this one, the scope is limited to the command line into mode only, and showing you the files and how you can tweak the parameters. So here, I have just providers. See, you might be wondering that this is the syntax which you're following. So, see, this is like this was syntax was followed by previously. This version actually, if you see, this version actually, if you see, this is as of now 1.0.10. Prior to this version, like less than 1.0 version, this was the syntax, right? Which like this you used to do 0.12 and below syntax. This was the syntax, but post greater than 0.12 version, this is the version. This is the parameters which is being used, like AWS source HashiCorp AWS. So this is the providers. So it will download the providers. So we have, guys, we have almost more than 1,500 providers and around 7,000 modules written inside those providers. So we have we'll go through the this actually I've covered in the basic section, but yes, we'll again walk you through. So modules are also written inside the providers. So provider is a major category, and then the modules are written inside a provider. So if you see the different modules are used actually here. If you see, I will just go through it, and then we have the AWS provider region is West US to EIB LBS. Now this is like we'll just comment out a few of the things to show you the value of what is called the what is output actually, what is output, and like how we will provision the infrastructure. So see, this is the region, we don't have to play with it. So this is a resource, though this is called blocks. So this is called resource block, and this is called resource block. So we are going to provision s3 bucket, as well as the elastic IP, and with the VPC value as true. So we'll just go through it and we'll just create it. As of now, I will just commenting out the output actually. So just to this is how you put that comment. So we just don't want to produce the output right now itself. We will go through. This is the thing, right? So yeah. So yeah, this is like the name. And I will just as I walk through, right, I will keep you explaining the syntax how we have defined. So see, this is the provider AWS region you have selected, hard coded, and resources like AWS. This is the what you say the module. Now let me go to the registry part of it. Okay, so let me go to the provider itself, right? So let me not only this, we'll go to this thing. So what I was saying, so see, every day the HashiCorp community is increasing on the providers. There are around 1597 providers and 7377 modules, which are there inside the providers. So when you go to providers, I this is like, although I have covered in the different sections, but yes, this is the major categories like AWS, Azure, GCP, Kubernetes, Oracle Infrastructure, Alibaba. So these are the providers, major providers, along with the Terraform which has been used, and we have the Docker as well as a provider. And these are the some of the providers, and we have Terraform Cloud also, Vault also, HashiCorp Vault, where we use the secrets. Just like we have Keyword in Azure, we have Vault in HashiCorp also. And with Azure DevOps, there are also separate extensions are available. And we have Artifactory also, like for JFrog, and so many things providers are there. So these the providers are a logical abstraction of an upstream API. They are responsible for understanding API interaction and exposing resources. So we go to as AWS now. We go to the documentation. So see, these are the number of modules inside. What you say, this providers, right? So like, what are the different type of things which we'll see here? So if you go to so anything which you want to search, right? AWS EIP. So we are going to provision a elastic IP, right? So this is like we have to just go through it. Um, App Mesh and EC2 instance and EC2, yeah, AWS EIP. This is the one. So now Elastic IP. So we'll just go through it. VPC true and single EIP associated with an instance. So we want to instance associated with one instance. This is the syntax, and we want to multiple instance. So as of now, I'm not provisioning EC2 instance, guys. It's only about the EIP I'm provisioning. So otherwise, I would have mentioned this thing instance. So if we want to associate a EAP with multiple NICs, then this is the parameters which we have to use. So so attaching an EAP to instance with, so these are the parameters, different types of things, and you have argument references like we can give address, we can give tags, VPC. So these are the arguments. These are the arguments, and then we have attribute references. Attribute will come through it when we provision. So I will show how it functions. But yes, this is pretty much how you take the reference. So when you are writing the resource, for example, AWS EIP, you can just come here in the Terraform registry, search for the Terraform AWS provider, whichever provider you are working, and then go to the documentation and see this is the one. So you step by step approach is being followed here. So you can just learn from this registry to Terraform. This is, I would say, the Bible, or we would say the wiki of all the HashiCorp modules which have been written by the HashiCorp community. So yes, and then we have the S3 bucket also. I will just duplicate as I speak. Then we have S3 bucket also we have. So AWS S3 bucket. So yeah, so I just want to show how you can from beginning stage how you can do. So this is for the data. S3 bucket is just like a storage account in Azure. So S3 bucket is like the storage where we have to put the data, so. This is what we have, like in the argument references, the attribute references. So yeah, so this is how you write the module for the the source block for the S3 bucket. So bucket name you can just type it anything. So it could be a DNS entry, and the ECL record is like the access control list. It's a private or public. And for public, you don't have to write anything. And again, this is what you say. This is called ECL is one of the, I would say, the you can write this that as a name like access control is private, so you can write those things. So this is like this is for, I think, the S3 bucket object I have maybe I've referenced from somewhere. So you can mention that bucket object. So yeah, just hold on. So it may be that I have yeah, so let's figure out that later. But yes, this is what you can write the modules from. Output, I will show you the this thing. We'll go through it. So Where it's hive time, I think let's initialize the directory, right? So I will just initialize this directory. I've just created this one and try to okay. So initialize an empty directory. So sorry. So we I think we have to save this, but we haven't saved this one. Control S. So this is like the okay, so sorry, I haven't saved this one. Now I'm initializing it. So as if you see here, it's initializing it. So it's downloading the plugins. As of now, nothing was there. Now only the Terraform file, attribute file was there. Now if you see here, I will just try to cover the other things also. The log file is also there, the hashtag configuration language, and you can actually see, you can actually refer let me go to let me open one more session of this thing. So we'll probably try to open folder actually, and we'll go to this from DevOps, and then we have Terraform, and then we have Terraform Season 2. Yeah, this one we will select this folder. See, this is if you see here, log file has been created. So it will create one log file with the hash, and this is the TF file, and this is the provider file we have. So this is pretty much the provider file and the log file we have, and this is the Terraform attribute file. So see, this is like initialize. It has been done. Now I will just see what it has to uh, like. Plan it, and we just see what are the resources it will be created. So just hold on. So if you say plan two to add and zero to change, zero to destroy. So let me expand this. Let me expand this and see. This is the one, like it has been created. AWS EAP LBS will be created, and there is one more like S3 bucket will be created with bucket. I've just mentioned B, and the Elastic IP I mentioned as LBS. So I've just mentioned this thing. So now I will just create it. Initialization is done. Planning, like how you want to, this will be added. It will show the structure, how it will look like. Now we'll go to Terraform apply, right? Terraform apply. Guys, like as of now only one Terraform file is there. That's why I can simply could write this one. So if there could be scenarios where your directory could contain multiple TF files. So in that case, I think in the last session I've showed how to do a Terraform apply for a particular TF file. So this scenario can also happen when you are doing development in your local environment. And because this is these things are when you are writing your own TF files before pushing it to the DevOps. So this is like it's asking for like acceptance. So whether you want to proceed or not. So this is like I'm entering a value here. Yes. So now you will see how we will create actually the instance, and then we will just repeat these steps actually, creating and deleting all these things. So just go through my console. And we have, I think, region we have selected is EIP, right? EIP we have selected. So Elastic IP will go to it, and we'll see. Mm, so so just hold on. So I think this is. So it says bucket audio says the request name is already not available. So that's fine. I think bucket two. So I think EIP might have been created. Let me check. EIP might have been created. Let me check. Yeah, Elastic IP has been created actually. So, let me again. Let me do again Terraform apply. Uh, it will overwrite the Elastic IP. That's not an issue. But um, so it's mentioning that.
Not saved.
So just trying to recreate it again with some different names so that if not, then we'll proceed with EIP only. So just wanted to show the output actually how it looks like. Okay, I think this is also created now. So just S3 bucket will just go through and check. So S3 also it has created. Or just change the name. Sorry, it was coinciding with the other one. So even the yeah, I think this can this is created now. And yeah, so like this is the thing now. We'll do a Terraform destroy, and so if you see here, nothing has been nothing has been displayed. So now we'll do a Terraform destroy. In the meantime, it is destroying it. So we'll show the significance of output actually. So whenever you are referencing, right, the output the output which you are referencing, so it will once you want to display the output actually, so then only we will specify the output, like when where you want to actually display what's going on. So let me show a couple of things more here. So two items are destroyed, but let me refresh it. Yeah, there's that state file also created, right? State file is also created. So now this will change. Of course, this will change. So I just want to show the attributes part I have shown. Now this is the output, the significance of output which we are seeing. So like we want to display what is going on, what has been provisioned with the infrastructure, right? For example, the EIP. So it will display should display the what you say the this is like LBS, what it is provision, the value, actual value. This is called one of the attributes which has been displayed. And like for this one, like B2 is AWCSC.B2, so it's referencing the if you say it's referencing the B2, it will show the name of the B2. So output is 3 now actually. So we're just saving it, and then we'll do a direct Terraform apply, and we'll see what happens. So I've just yeah, will so with this, I think would we be able to see what has been provisioned. Uh, so I'm just doing a direct Terraform apply. So I think it should display the output of what has been going to provision. So see, if you see here, so it is displaying all the things. So as of now, I have not mentioned any particular thing. So outputs is displaying pretty much all of the things right now. But yes, if you want to see what has been provisioned, if you see here, this might have been again created. Like if you go to, yeah, this is again has been created. If you see here, elastic IP has also been created again. But if you want to reference again the attributes inside it, so it is again provision this public IP. Now there's a couple of parameters. If you see, well, let me go to the state file now. See, there are number of parameters. Now if you want to specify the bucket name or anything, right, you can reference that thing also, like EIP. If you see, uh, so EIP, this could be the elastic IP, right? Elastic IP ID you could choose. So I public IP, right? So this thing only you want to display. So this yeah, this can be come here, like this can be come here, like AWS dot. See, all the things are. If you see here, it's coming here. If you see, so allocation ID instance, so it's referencing whichever parameter you want to initialize. So it could be public IP, right? In case of this is the public IP. Now we'll mention what if you see here, all parameters have been displayed. So now to initialize a particular thing, you want to take it, right? So you can see lot of parameters are coming in the output. You don't or necessarily define everything, right? For the S3 bucket, let's take this thing only, the DNS name, right? We'll take let's take ID itself then. In that case, so we'll reference that particular thing only, like B2, the ID itself. So as of now, it's displaying all the things. So this is called referencing the value of the parameter, the parameters. There's a declarative language, right? So we are referencing how much detailed information which we want to provision. So this is how it will come. So now again, I won't show the console this time, just to make things faster. And we don't want these many parameters, right? It's not relevant. So we can just mention couple of parameters and then we can do with it. So it's just deleting it, and then yeah, we'll again click on apply and see. So this is like how you can reference particular parameters which you want to reference. If you got confusion any of these guys, I think I showed you the previous slide up also. So see, it says, so a lot of values are coming, so we just say yes right now. And so I was showing right in the earlier cases. So this is ID is just a attributes, the attribute value which I was the ID and all those things. The, for example, for the S3 bucket, it could be the DNS name. It could be the DNS name, and DNS name is the argument reference, I think. So the DNS name, or it could be the website name, the tags, policy, ACL. So argument difference. So yes, so ID is, you see, this is the ID which they have mentioned. So these all things can be covered from this very what you say, this very module, the resource, the provider. So this is like you have to use this one. So now if you go to, and again click on apply, right? So it will just recreate all these things, and the output will be displayed only to a particular values will be for a particular where we are concerned actually. So if you see, you will see here just a few minutes, and then so this is all about yeah. So let it create in the meantime. So this is it's still creating, so I think let's wait. So yeah, he will be saying only the particular values, not all those parameters which you were like seeing previously. So see, if you see here, only the EIP and the bucket information is available, nothing else apart from it. So this is what you like. This is what we understand from this one. So now this was pretty much about the attributes and how we read the values from there. So. Now understanding attributes and output. Now referencing cross cross what you say attributes, we want to reference multiple. Now see, there are two things now. There is an elastic API, right, which we provision. Now you want that elastic API to be automatically assigned to a particular instance, right? So how you will reference it, how will you make that association happen? This is through the AWS EAP association. So this is like and then associating the associating with it EIP to a security group. It should happen automatically, right? The EIP elastic API first, it should be assigned to instance, and then it should be instance again. It should be assigned to one particular security group. So this is how it looks like. This should be configured. So we'll just provision one more thing here, and we'll see how it goes. So now if you see, this is the pretty much how it looks like. So if you see the state file, I think I've shown previously, but yeah, let me again show it. So yeah, so we were referencing I showed in the attribute itself, whichever we want to reference, we can reference it. So now coming to the this thing, the second part of it, which is the referencing, like association of EIP with the what you say, the security group, right? So this is the block which we would be taking it. So obviously I won't be copying this thing, so till this point, and then I have to check for the AMI reference also. This could be wrong here. So so now we'll go to we will create one session of what you say, reference.tf, right? Code reference.tf. So of course we are not interested in this one. Will copy these things from there. So this is the I don't want to take my secret expose in the uh, while writing the code for it. So and we'll change the EC2 name. So so dev test EC2, and we'll mention the, so this is which region which we're configuring. So this is uh, we are configuring for US West 2, right? Uh, so yeah, we will just paste this one also. So this is how it works. So copy from here and there. So here also we can't get rid of copy paste. But yeah, this is how it is. So yeah, this is for, see, for now we'll go to US West 2. So let me go to my this thing. So now this is Oregon is what, US West 2, right? So now I will go to the EC2 dashboard, EC2 instance dashboard. So we'll go to instance, and we'll just launch the instance, and we have to see if this is available there. Otherwise, we have to mention some different thing here. So which is I think no, I think different thing we need to mention here. So so this is like T2 dot micro. This is free, right? T2 dot micro. Let me select this one. So it will be T2 dot micro only, but I'm just verifying T2 dot micro. Okay. So this should, AMI should exist actually. If not, then you have to see the console, the AWS console, and then paste it. Now EWS EIP true, and then now we are associating the EIP, like AWS EIP association with the instance, my EC2 instance dot ID. So so what you say, my instance to this is like, see, we have to change it here. So and aws eavlb dot id. So I think here we have mentioned lbs, right? We are referencing same one, like we have to reference the same one which got created earlier. So AWS, KP, LBS. Yeah, so we created a previous one, right, in the previous session, LBS. So we have to mention the same name and the EIP, right? And this is altogether new one, dev test, so it's fine actually. So security group allow TLS. So this is like the now we have associating. So this what is happening here, guys? We are associating the EIP with the there is a module. Let me search for it you so that you get some confidence how to just go through it and just write this thing. So now, so yeah, this is pretty much I've been following. So AWS ES Association, this is I took reference from here. Also instance ID, allocation ID. So AWS instance, dev test is my this thing, right? Which the name which I'm trying to give, and dot ID, and then allocation ID is the AWS EIP. LBS, LBS is what example is what the your EIP name, your actual EIP name. So allocation example is what your actual EIP name. So here they might have mentioned, but yeah, it's okay. Allocation ID is what we understood, right? So this is about that. So now this is how it is. So the security group name is we are creating a security group also apart from the so references is just taking. So AWS instance we are creating, EIP reference is taking from the other one, and EIP is associated with the instance the previous IP is associated with this AWS instance. Now the third one is the security group which we are going to create. The security group could be so I will name it a dev test lab. So to make it a more conscious on this one. So from is like 443 and two. It's just like a NSG rule in Azure. We have the ingress. Ingress is the incoming thing. From and to part protocol is TCP, and then you have the AWS EIP with LBS. I think this should be LBS. I think AWS EIP. So yeah, so it should be LBS, right? Or CIDR block. So here I'm confused now. So just hold on. I give. Just hold on. Let me check this thing. Okay, I think this is commented. Hmm. I'm just searching. This is because I'm just searching for this one. So this is allow TLS and name is this one. Hmm. Okay, so what I have to see here, CIDR block section, right? AWS EIP. Hmm. So well, let me see what it does. So let me try to again do a. We will create a EIP also a different one. So uh, This is for LBS 2. Yeah. Let me again try to. So this is now saying a default non-alias provider of file was already given at attribute if multiple configs required set the alias. Okay. Okay. So now so this is like just commented like so just comment it out. Now again we'll do. Hmm. Now it looks like a plan. Yeah. So pretty much aligned to what we are trying to provision. So if you go to uh, the reference section, so how many things which are going to provision the AWS instance, EIP association, AWS instance, EIP, EIP association. Fourth is the security group. Perfect. So now, so sorry, just coughing a lot. So due to the polluted air here. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. So yeah, EWS LBS2 will be created. So this is all the four parameters which has been captured here, and the allow TLS also it's there. And then yeah, for a couple of these things are the four resource groups, resources which we are trying to provision. So we'll do it as a Terraform apply. So yeah, we'll see the things here, how it progresses. So this is so let's see. So here now we are trying to associate. We are cross-referencing the attributes, right? We are referencing the EIP. We are trying to associate with the what you say with this thing, right? With this association. Uh, this is the main thing, guys. So we are trying to reference the two different entities, two different resources, EIP and the instance. So this is why it's called the cross-reference of attributes. So just try to provision this and see what happens. Right. So sorry about that. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's altogether a different. Yeah, EC2. Okay. Okay. Now this time the insert enemy doesn't have matching architecture. Okay. So got it. Now what has happened is it has created the elastic APIs, but it has provisioned the. Hmm, let me do a Terraform destroy then. So till the time this is doing its so it will ask for confirmation to delete it. So I think this is something is wrong here. Then let me delete all those things which I've created. I wouldn't want to. I want to do it on fresh. So I think sorry about that. So mm, okay. Hmm. And I think now I have to come here and change the AMA type. Oh, it got completely wrong. This is, I copied the other value. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, yeah, this is the correct value. I'm sorry about that. So, yeah, I'll just do a Terraform plan first. Yeah, this is expected. So, because we destroyed all of the things pretty much. So, let's see what four things it's mentioned. So, LBS would be created one thing, LBS two. Okay, okay. I think I have to comment the entire file. No, I don't want this thing to be created. So, sorry. Just hold on. It's taking values from here also. So I'm just commenting out the attributes.tf. Now let's do again. I don't want to provision the duplicates. Now let me plan it again. It's taking the reference from the other TF file as well. So so I think that's now this is perfect. I think so. Now this is four plan to add, which is pretty much aligned to what we were trying to achieve. Um we have the LBS2, we have the association, EAP association, dev test AWS instance, EAP association with the instance itself. LBS2 is the LBS2 is the EIP, and this is the association block, and then this is the instance, actual instance, and then we have mm, security group. Yeah, this is pretty much. Now we will just click Terraform apply. I think this time it should pass now because it was taking a reference of the IMA value was wrong actually, which I copied. So yeah, let me enter a value now. We're still creating, so yeah, I think it should be provisioned shortly. Hmm. Yeah, if you see this is associated, this EAP is associated with this instance ID, right? So the two different type of resources are being associated using that association, which I've just searched. The provider is the HashiCorp site, right? So you can use that as a reference thing. We'll see one couple of more things here. So this is what you say as the reference types, referencing different things. Now we have the Terraform variables. Which we'll try to provision. So this is like so different variables, like it will when you want to don't want to mention the CID at box, right? So then you mention the actual this thing from here. So what you say? So here it will create one var demo, and we will create two TF, one variables TF, and then one the security groups. So we'll probably try to destroy actually, and then recreate it. And so we'll do, because it's a good practice, like for every, after every demo you should destroy the things. So it's a pay as you go, right? So I don't want to get charged with the instances and all those things. So just just doing with it. And yeah, then if I'm destroy, yeah, it's going on. So yeah, so then we will provision this for the other environment, and I just destroyed. And yeah, we are like, we will reference the so this is now after variable tf, I will go to the tf var files. So first variable.tf, so let's move step by step, so how it's done. So I will create one more file with this snippets from, okay, so now we'll just so this is, we'll just copy it. So sorry, I think this will come in some time. So once it's done, yeah. So now we'll go to, I will again create one Terra. We'll just comment out the all the stuff from here because it's asking me to. Hmm. So yeah, I think I'll try to provision these things, right? So yeah, so we will provision these things, and we'll see what we can cover here. So now two files which we have to create. One is this, and one we have to create as. Let me go to the other one. One is the variable. So see, instead of the VPN IP, right? VPN. So we have tried to create a security group here, and then VPN IP is the variable CIDR block which we want to represent. So default value, instead of giving the default value, right, of this one, so we will mention here. So let me again go to AWS security group, because even I have to reference it. This is sometimes confusing. So yeah, I have opened already this thing. So CDR block. This is AWS security group. So if you go to this one, if you see here, the resources, right? Resource, yeah. So CIDR block, right? The CIDR block. So it's taking the reference from. So this is like VPC, AWS VPC main. So it's taking the reference from there. And now I want to call it via some block, some variable file. So this, like, I'm selecting a default range. This is the range it should be selected, instead of repeating. So this is like, see, we have to repeat here also, here also, ingress, couple of ingress, we are different rules we are specifying here. So we don't have to mention every time. So what we will create one variable file also, a separate variable file, where we have to mention all the variables at one go. That's called variable.tf. Apart from the main file, you can create a variable.tf where you have the references of the variables from that file. So, and you will mention the parameters there. So we'll mention, we'll create one variable.tf file, and then we will just so take it from there. So yeah, we can copy the values. So it says three references, right? So three references. This one, this one, and this one. So we don't have to repeat those things, hard code values. So we can, if we have to mention change also, right? It's very difficult to. There are three occurrences right now, three different rules. But in the production instances, there could be more, right? So for that, we create a separate call variable and we reference it inside it. So how we reference through variable .vpn var.vpn. So this is how we reference. So we'll just create it and we'll see how it functions. It should create one security group actually, one to add. So yeah, it's a security group only which is tasked to add actually, and then it's taking the the security group IP on which CIDR this should get provision, which CIDR block or which VPN IP it should get provision. So we'll just go through it. So if you let me see here, so it says the security group var.demo will be created. So one security group. So I just created. So now we'll go to instance and we go to the security. Mhm. So resource type is security var underscore demo. Why it's not coming here? Is it some different region which we have selected? US West 2. Hmm. So hmm. Somehow it's not displaying the security group when I'm searching. So it should come idly. Create a circle security groups easy to feature. Oh, is it like? Sorry. Is it like I have to? No, this is the only one. I think this is the only one which is managed, but somehow I'm confused why the name is not coming in. The CID range is also not signed properly. But three rules, ingress rules, it should I should be able to see it. The internet gateways, DSC main route table, main ACL. Permission is three. One is this one only. But where do you I find and correlate? This I don't know why saying four submits to one rule. Edited provisionally. But this is like the resource type was so it got provision somewhere here itself. CADR range also it's given here. So and the name also I have mentioned here. Um, our name is this one. Yeah, cap labs variables is the only one. Sorry about the confusion, but the ingress one, there are three rules. Yeah, this is the only one. Inbound rules. Yeah, sorry about that. So this is like, yeah, it's visible, and the source it has taken from the this file. What you say, the variable file, right? So this is how you reference the variable with the variable.tf. So yeah, we'll go to the other experts now. So approach for variable assignment. So various different approaches are there. So like insert Terraform TVF war files instance type. So we'll see how many approaches we can follow. But yes, this is about the instance type which has been created variable like institute.macro. So see whatever we used to create, right? So variable.tf like instance type. We can mention instance type variable. We can mention here. Default is t2.macro. We can mention so. Instead of mentioning here, we can mention here in the variable dot a custom tvfr is for the instance type actually. So different methods how we can mention the variables in a different way. So it's about or we can also mention at the time of the CLI command itself. So where we don't need to mention like what we want to basically provision at the runtime, like what SKU size we should give. This is how at the plan time itself we can change this value. Insert type from treated micro to treated small. we can do it here. So this is how you can just go through it and just see this repository and use it in the demo. But yes, as we have to cover the other things as well, so just explore all these things, and then then let's move to the we have to cover till at least the local values, and we'll see how we can cover data types for variables. So now we'll cover to the data types, right? So this is like we'll explore the different what you say, the variables, right? The string Phillips and Terraform TVF was file. So we'll explore different things which we have now. Now this is from the variable which we see the data types. So for every data type has a variable also now. So let me go and do a destroy first, and then probably we could destroy. So, so here the main agenda is like we'll see how we will see for each and every this thing for like variable username we will reference and you'll come to know. So we have the data type also of the variables. So variables like user number, ELB name, it should be a string. Then variable availability zone, it could be a list. So yeah, variable dot az is like we could be having a list type, and then we the timeout is number. Then we will specify these values, actual values, in the tv war file. So elb name is elb, timeout is 400, and availability zones we could specify in tv war file. So so you have to difference, you have to understand the difference between these things conceptually, even because as I'm learning on the way, so difference, this difference, if you come to know, right, this is a very important one. Variable variable TF and Terraform. This is very important. I think from exam perspective also. While I am also preparing for it, so this is also key, holds a very good this thing. Why some of the difference between TF, variable TF and TF was just the Terraform VF just defines variable, valid variable for templates, whereas the TVF will declare them, thus giving those variables values. Okay, so so this is the difference, like the so variables are again defined valid variables for a template. Okay, whereas tvf works files will give you the values of those variables. Okay, so this is the type they are defining in the variable.tf, and here actual values. This is how you differentiate between the variables.tf and tvf war files. So this will will come to know while we provision all these things. So let's just quickly provision. Let me just destroy it. The previous one I'm just trying to destroy it and we'll see. So okay, I think this is also done. This is which file now? This is mm, okay. Sorry. Hmm. So just mention all these variables. So this is the data type, ec2 dot data type. So will difference, I think couple of files needs to be created, one, two, three, four. It will give the values here, elbtf. It will referencing the var elb name from the this file, right? And and then we have az values it will take from this one. So az is which type? Az is a type of list. So this you can mention here, variable in variable.tf. So and this is like data type. So yeah, this is where you specify all those things. So this is, let's create first the ec2 data type file. So sorry about that. So just hold on, let me. No, I think I have to create. We just remove this file, or we'll just override this one, or we will just this is just like a way of commenting the things. So yeah, so this is just trying to. So this is the whole idea is to just get the difference between the variable.tf and tf. Where you quite often use in your code these interchange these things interchangeable in their code, the variable.tf and the tvf war file. So this is the is, sorry. Okay, so let's try to initialize it and see what it has to do. Okay, variable dot username, var dot username. It says var dot username and system. It takes a var dot username. Let me search through this. Again, this is a different provider within AWS. So I have to just search for it. Uh, just hold on. So I think no, I think this is not the one. Sorry, I have to remove this. Sorry, this is where ELB name ELB. Sorry, this I haven't have to give. This was only for the reference. But then user number. So it has to add one value. Yeah. So this is the availability zone, and the name is referencing from this TVF war files, and variable or TF is referencing the. If you see the user name, right, so it has to be a number. That's why it was asking me the number and the string, and then the the Azure availability zones. It will take from this file. So now I think pretty much we are aligned to what it was expected. So now I think we'll do Terraform apply. Sorry. Mm. Okay. Now I have to again go to the console to search the availability zone for US West 2. US West 2. US West 2 is availability zone region and endpoints. US West 2, US West 2. Sorry for this. So I'm just doing a Terraform apply. Yeah, it's creating right now. Okay, so I think this availability zone error. So I think which is fine. I think we can check that through. But yes, the conceptually, this is how it is. It's taking the variables. This is the key difference which you need to know. The difference, the difference between the variables of TF and T variables of TF or in Terraform. Like you to understand this difference. So variables of TF is just to define your valid variables for templates, whereas the TVF var file declared them as giving those values variables some value. So this is how it summarizes. So it's giving the value the TVF var file. This difference, if you know, then and you can implement as well. So that's the idea about this data types. Now go to count and count index. I don't know. Just hold on. Okay, so I think count and count index uh, probably will cover simple one, although. But yes, this is when you have to mention the count, how many instances you want to create. I think this is interesting. I think we can do this. I think probably the last one demo for the day, and then we'll cover the other things as we move forward. So this is called country parameter. So if you go to this, let me. No, now this is the main the focus of is like count out index means if we want to provision. So I am user. If you see, if we want to create three users, right, at a one go, so it's just about looping, right? So if you go to yeah, I am user. So count is like if you have to create three users simultaneously, how would you go about? So multiple repetitions you would give through count and count index. So that's what you. This is what you call as a count index parameter. So if you want to provision this is then you say the count dot parameter, and this is called count I am count parameter .tf. So you mentioned the names also, ELB names also here with the list type, which you mentioned previously. The type is list for the default dev load balancer. ELB names, elastic load balancers names, and this is the value. The count is three, right? And it will be taking this from the var.elb names, var.elb names. Uh, so count is like 0, 1, 2, 3. I will so when you will do a Terraform plan, right? Then this is like same as the array, right? So the count index you can create a multiple session, multiple instances also by giving this. This is the usefulness of this count and count index. This is like playing with the data. So similarly, we have strings, right? So this is how you name it. So now count is three. So I'm just mentioning this. It will take that from the variable file, counted parameter of the tf file, right? So this will take it. So now just to mention this thing. So this is like, see, this is we've created. Now we'll create one more file just to mention the instance type also. It will also create three instances, right? So we have mentioned three instances, so it will create. So this is like yeah, the two different things, right? So let's provision first. If I give you only the one thing also, it should be fine, I think. So the ELB names it's taking from the above file, so it has nothing to do with the second file. So let's create three users first, and then we'll see. With the count as so three users you should create. So this is the main funda, and try user. What is this? This is one variables. Oh, I think we should comment this one also. Three plans. So now I think this is perfect. So it's adding three plans now. The LB. See, this is what I was talking about. Zero, zero, three mentioned. We mentioned it. Three users. Zero, one, and two. This is how it takes as a string. The arrays. It's like a list, right? A type. So we'll do a Terraform apply. It will create three users. And I think this is much for the day. But yes, I will try to cover maybe some more time. Here, yes. So access I am. See, it has created a couple of more users. See, this is created. This is the so this is the similar way as the instances also. You can create instances also. In this way, three instances. So this is what about count and count index, like with the parameters which we have to mention. Now this is vast, guys. Just bear with me. But yes, I think we'll go through. I think conditional expression from conditional expression I can cover probably till dynamic blocks from the next one, and then we'll go through the other. After this, it is the providers section, the Terraform providers. I think yes, Vishwas. I think yeah, that's it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for such a great session. And also, there are a lot of questions to be answered. I think better that you actually stopped by now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Abdul, you can join now if you are free. He was very eager to join for asking the question. So yeah, I think Punam has asked like, how does Terraform know what to orchestrate first and what later?
Like whatever you mention in the main.tf file, right? So that comes first actually. Like So if they have multiple, as you see in my examples, there were multiple TF files. So you have to mention the alias, which file it should take. Otherwise, you should for the provider section, you have to mention the alias also along with
Hmm.
the. It get confused actually if you have multiple TF files. So either you have to comment out the other ones, or generally in the code, in the production code, there is a one main.tf file, and then that this is a, see, this is a learning process. So we are I'm trying to cover with the different tf files. So this is how I have to comment out the other ones. But yes, whatever you mention in the main.tf file, which is also supposed, this is how you reference the main code. So you mentioned main.tf, so but here we are learning, right? That's why we are running attribute.tf and this.tf, that.tf. So in the main production instance, and when you commit those files in the github, right, then you have to mention a single main.tf, and whatever is mentioned in there, it references, for example, a variable.tf or tv vars file. It references there, so it initializes whatever is there in the main.tf file, which is your resources providers, and then the variables it is referencing. So that's what, whatever you define first in the resource block. There were multiple blocks, right, which I was showing. So whichever first comes in the resource block, it tries to, it takes the priority, and then you can check through the Terraform plan also.
Yeah, Abdul, you can ask the question. You can unmute yourself now, I think.
Yes, yes. Hello.
Yeah, hi Abdul.
Yes, can you hear me? Yeah, hello, Tarun.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, my question is regarding deployment of EKS cluster in AWS in production. Like, how do we deploy EKS cluster using Terraform? Like, do we write Terraform code like creating VPC subnets, or we can simply use module for that in production? Because I don't have any prior experience in production. So,
Yeah, of course, that's a good question. So for EKS, there are EKS modules available. You can, for provisioning a cluster, this is the module, AWS EKS cluster, and you can use for production. Of course, you have to take the this is you can of course use this the VPC and all those things. You can provision through the modules which are available. So AWS EKS cluster, this is how you can use it with your own subnets. But before using this, you have to create a VPC first. So we need to have a VPC first. For that, so no, yeah, this is
I
the
think
this,
so. In AWS module, they VPC is already created. I think so. They provide
default
that kind of,
VPC is
yeah,
there.
default VPC is there.
But see, but
And also,
for
you have to make sure that you also should have considered that there will be a DNS name, right? DNS which
Yes,
will be
yes.
attached to all the like Kubernetes will always have a DNS attached in the machine. So you need to
yeah.
even consider that as well. So entire
Mm-hmm.
AWS clusters will have DNS inside it.
Right, right.
And it's
And
not
yeah,
about the VPC also, like sir, I've
correct.
completed. It's not about the
Yeah, yeah.
VPC also. You can also think about like VNets which are actually interacting with it. So there will be a disk which will be allocated. There will be a VM which will be allocated
Yes,
actually.
yes.
So all the things will have their own resources. So that's where the modules come up. So it's not like just throwing up the EKS resource. It's like the modules have their own way of communicating. So that's
Yes.
where all the security credentials will come under DevSecOps part. It's not a DevOps part, it's a DevSecOps part. Altogether, it's a different thing right now. So yeah, it's different, but yeah, whatever you ask, I think Tarun sir can address even more better because I'm an newbie here and he's the pro. 10 years of experience, man. Even though with a lot of cold and everything, he's explaining
Yeah.
with such an aura, and I felt so proud listening to the throughout the session.
Yes,
I
yes.
listened, right. I was so proud about it. So yeah, sir,
Yeah.
it's all yours.
Yeah, so see, EKS one is a very good question which you have asked. So you can provision through the default one, but if you see, because even I just want to correct Vishwas, I'm fair in intermediate in Terraform, but I'm new to AWS, so I'm
Mm.
a beginner in AWS. But yes, if you see Azure, right, there are two components to deploy, to two ways of deploying Kubernetes. One is the CNI and one is the KubeNet. In
Kubernetes.
KubeNet, it will provision altogether a new VPC for you, new VNet for you. But in case of the other one, the CNI, you already have a VNet or the VPC. On top of it, the cluster gets created. I think it's better not to use default because it has its own limitation. It comes with its own CIDR range. It could fell short
Right, right.
actually.
We can
So
configure that, yes, in module, yes.
correct. So that's why you have to provision new VPC. I would say don't go with the
Yeah.
default one.
Okay, okay.
That's my suggestion. And yes, you can use this as a reference to create. But again, for production, as Vishwas mentioned, there are prerequisites which you have to. But I think first do some hands-on actually in provisioning in
Yeah.
a local environment first, and
Like,
then you can. Okay,
yeah.
correct. Please go ahead.
But if you can think of something as an Azure AKS, right? Like if you
Yeah.
have worked on Azure, I'll say you one thing. You know, there when you take it away from the cluster, like if you are not doing it on the portal, when you're doing it on your local machine, right? There'll be the .cube file that will be formed. Like
Hmm.
you guys have to just see that it's a hidden file. Nobody can see that, like until you do add trip plus h and things like that. But in that, all the resources will be there, but the secrets will not come up. And in that secrets, there'll be all the IP address. It will be private, like it will be to your cluster. Everything will be procured for you only. So it's different. Every cloud manages their cloud in a very different fashion. So pricing differs accordingly. If you think of GKE is different. GKE has its own way of working. So a lot of resources has to be researched before you provision it using any of the platforms. If you think of Pulumi, you have to have a different way of strategies to deploy it, and a lot of production questions have come. I think probably that will answer all your questions. I think.
Yeah, so that's how it is. Yeah. So and also I think you can refer to the best practices for the Kubernetes, which you have to go for Kubernetes
Yeah.
baseline architecture for the Azure for the Amazon for Amazon. Yeah. So you can consider those as a best practices like how to provision the EKS. So
Hmm.
for Azure, as of course there is one, but for like to design actually. So so yeah, I think you can refer this one. But yes, just refer some baseline architecture. For Azure, there is a very good one. I have implemented this one actually, Azure baseline AKS architecture. So this I've done in my like last organization AKS. So let me just share that one at least. Yeah, this is how I have designed the AKS solution for in my last experience, like baseline architecture for AKS. So this is what in the housework model you can simply think of same scenarios in the AWS also, and then implement it via Terraform. You need to have some concrete structure before you architect and write the Terraform file for it. I think that's what you just search for the baseline architecture. A similar thing for AWS you have to search. So this is how.
Yeah, yeah. I got the point. Thank you, Tarun.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Abdul. I
sure.
think any other
Thanks, Abdul.
questions, do drop it down. And I
I,
think
I see. I see for
Poonam,
Poonam.
how can we
Uh,
recover a failed applied Terraform?
so if a Terraform like means fail apply Terraform. See whatever. Whatever is failed, right? I didn't get this question. So see, you have to do a plan before applying actually. So plan at least validates a plan at least checks the thing like if any syntax error or something, what is doing to provision, and it checks those things. And with the Terraform validate, you can check the syntax also before actually applying. So how to recover from a failed apply? So it's not so you have to rectify the problem, what went wrong. So for example, I in my session today, there were multiple failures. So I have to like first there was a AWS instance ID was wrong, and then I was referencing multiple AWS providers block. So that's what the recovery. So you have to check the errors based on that. And yeah, so the names could be colliding with other TF files, and the instance ID could be wrong. So you have to correct those errors and then proceed. Uh, so in the recover, I think, yeah, for the recovery, so I think you can't delete the main.tf. If you delete it also, then I think you can still get some clue from the tf state file. And there is one more thing, like it's a good question. If you see here, there is a backup file also created. So the there is a TF backup file also created actually. So this which like it's helpful for, like, as a backup file is created. Like if you delete it somehow, the main.tf file, it gets recovered from the backup state file. So you can just go through it and uh, just see to it and what it's doing. So backup file is there. So this is like it actually at least it gives some idea of how this your main.tf looks like. And you can you can always see, you don't have to you will always have a copy of local environment also, right? So so you can recover and you can recreate it again. So it's always good if you create a backup file also, tf.back, before you start working on the actual tf file. So that's how I would suggest you can create. If it, you see, it's a long tf file, you can rewrite. It's not possible to write every file tf files from scratch. It's a long file. Suppose it's a small infrastructure which we are trying to provision now, but you don't have to rewrite the code. Then in those cases, I would suggest to keep a, like the main.tf dot backup. You just create a backup also, so that if tf files get deleted, then you can at least recover from the backup. You can rename from backup to tf, like main.tf rename terraform.backup to terraform.tf, something like that. Just create a backup file, I would suggest, before you do anything. That's how you can quickly recover it. uh, yes. So I think uh, what the other question is like so how Terraform is useful in data engineering and DevOps. DevOps, see, to provision infrastructure, right? So to provision an infrastructure, you have to you have to like what do you say, in DevOps, to provision new infrastructure, you have to recover from backup or failure. So for that, you commit those in the DevOps to provision the infrastructure. That's how you use in the DevOps. That will also be covered. Data engineering, I haven't used that scenario right now, Terraform in data engineering, but yes, for provisioning data factories, Synapse Analytics, you can still use a Terraform in the data engineering. That's what I would say. And reusability, can you explain how can the resources be used for production in the reusability aspect consideration? Uh, so see, I didn't get this question. So
You're talking about Koti,
reusability.
no, sir. Koti, well, and he who can we also
Yeah.
explain how can we use resource? Like he is asking about the reusability of all the resources. Like we have all the same set of code, but how can
Mhm.
we reuse it? That's what probably he's asking about.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so I think once you have the TF files committed in your repo, right, in your GitHub repo, you can reuse it and create a separate pipeline. You don't have to create infrastructure again and again. You can use that TF file to create provision infrastructure for different pipelines. So same code, you don't have to rewrite that code again and again. So you can reference that code in a different pipelines, different multiple pipelines, and then provision the infrastructure. But that usefulness you will see when we will go to the GitHub section, when I will
Mm.
cover the more advanced session, or the DevOps part of it. So then comes the reusability. And to add in this question, Terraform is supposed to be a immutable infrastructure. It offers immutable infrastructure, means you can recreate multiple times,
Mm.
destroy the things. And this is, I think, even Ansible is not providing these things. So like you can recreate multiple times and create it at short span of time, especially for the dev test. This is very powerful tool actually. So I think that's what you can reuse the code, you don't have to write it again. So this is very fast actually. So can we do the production level deployment in IAC? Infrastructure as a code, you can do, yes. it has been done. It is already been doing. So we can do either using ARM templates in Azure, or I think it's in Cloud Formation, right, in AWS. And similarly, we have Terraform. Terraform is a cloud native. We can use in AWS and Azure also. Like so this infrastructure as a code means you tell what infrastructure to provision. You can mention those in a pipeline, and you can use the reusability concept, immutability concept. Then you call this infrastructure as a code. You actually commit your your code inside the pipeline, so that the entire infrastructure can be stand up, can just create production ready. So yes, you can use the production level deployment also in infrastructure as a code. And in fact, Terraform is called the infrastructure as a code tool only. Terraform, and then we have I think Spinnaker is also, but that's a DevOps thing. But yeah, for Terraform
The
is a
Pulumi is
infrastructure
there.
as a code.
Pulumi is there. Like you
Okay.
can write it in your own native language, like Python, TypeScript, JavaScript, C Sharp, .NET developers. Like if you are a
Yeah.
.NET developer, you can just in like the problem with all these is security. Like if you think of
Correct.
something like
Mhm.
Jenkins file,
Yeah.
Jenkins file in the back end without your production system people getting to know that you are running something as a compute cluster which can mint good amount of ML infrastructure. You can run an ML software into it. Like
Okay.
they will never
Yeah.
get to know that. Like, and also if you think of the more vulnerable things, just go to Shodan, just type Jenkins, you'll get to the access to production of greatest startups actually. You cannot
Nowadays,
have
yeah, this is has become a fashion now. Infrastructure as a code, pipeline as a code. When I was working in Jenkins, it was pipeline as a code.
pipeline as a code.
Uh, Using the what you there's a language Groovy. So
Groovy.
using Groovy, you used to
Oh
write the
yeah,
pipeline as a
this
code.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
in Terraform as a as a very very similar syntax as Groovy, right? When you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
type the
Correct.
Control V onto this VS Code, it recognizes Groovy only first. It does not recognize it as Terraform. Yeah,
Yeah.
folks, I
So
think this is the best that we could ever deliver for you. And sorry for that, my system got hang all of the sudden. I don't know why. It happens to me every time, when I'm when I've given it so much of torture, it happens. So I think thank you so much, folks, for all your time and all your patience. And I think tomorrow I'll be taking basics of this. Sorry for disappointing yesterday because Bujia Baron was on my head. So it didn't give me sleep yesterday. No, day before yesterday. So no
okay.
problem, folks. Thank you so much. And I think we'll meet you on the further sessions, and further sessions will go on as it is. And we are having a lot of mentors. We are also trying to write the website. So if you guys want to hop in, please do hop in, contribute for the community. And thank you so much, sir. Thank you for
Okay.
giving the first event for the it's was for
Oh,
a
I'm
reason.
surprised. This was the first one. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first one. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you so much,
That's
folks.
great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll end the broadcast.
Sure.